Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. We may be getting close to the end here. I mean, we're at the tower. We just need to get up the tower, and then we'll have the medicine, and then we would, I assume, just need to get the medicine back to our father, and he'll be safe, sure. So let's do that. We've got this new rope mechanic, which makes things a lot easier. It gives you a backup in case you let go, at the very least. Like, like this guy can hang down and just swing this direction, and then this guy, oh come on, needs to hop up twice, and then this guy can let go and swing this direction, and this guy can see if we can get enough momentum to grab that, and then hop up, hop up, hop up. There we are. Is there anything over here worth interacting with? Doesn't seem like it. We haven't seen a bench in a while either. So this must be like an ogre tower or something for as big as that wall and that door was. And these rooms look huge. The scale is a lot larger than, I guess the ropes now are keeping us somewhat connected in the distance that we can travel is what I mean by that. Hop up, and we're in. Ooh, and my controller is vibrating, so that tells me danger is here. Why can't one of you jump to the other side? Oh, because it's falling apart. Let's take a moment to work our way through here. I see the puzzle they're doing here, and I feel like this game is just a mixture of a bunch of concepts for co-op play, and they put a good story behind it, but really the concepts don't have enough interesting drawl to them. And I guess we're going out the window, since that's the bright light pointing us in that direction. I bet you would have walked out of that doorway with the younger brother on the right every time, so it gets everything back to the right order. I imagine they spent a lot of energy when making this game to make sure that the older brother was always on the left, except for in rare cases like that. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, just had to climb up, and then it just started the cutscene. Just look how big that wood is. You're talking like 100-year-old trees for each board. So this is a little weird because it feels like he wants us to go this direction, and the older brother does, but I thought the medicine was actually in this tower. Let's sneak in here and see. We saw something trapped here. It's like an owl in a giant tower. And this world's so fantasy. It is so fantasy. Like, can I walk back out? Because I thought there might have been a way to crawl on the outer edge of this. But it seems like there probably is. Can we jump on the bed? Can take a nap. What do you do?
Oh!
So there's our benchmark. Bench moment. Uh, See, if you were gonna do like a borrower's game in this scale, that would be pretty cool. Let's see. Can I push this broom? No, I can't. I thought that would have done something. But I don't know if you could really make a borrower's game that would be that interesting, though. Borrowers being small humans that live inside the houses of regular sized humans and borrow slash steal items to live from, live off of. It's a pretty famous story that I'm sure you've seen some element of it. So you got this book here. But then you also have like this bird looks bloody. Hmm. Teach them as much, I guess, about birds as we can. Several things we can interact with. One of the kids can walk through it, one of the other kids cannot. No longer do we have the rope. So we'll see. And jump up and grab his feet. Put enough weight on it. And free this. Is it a griffin? Or an owl? I don't know. Let's go talk to him. It has to be a griffin just by the size of it. It's huge. Unless the kids are shrinking. It somehow shrank at some point. So we just did a flying sequence before. It's kind of strange we do a secondary flying sequence. This, if we were gonna have all these flying sequences, it should be its own game. I mean, this is a cool cutscene, but the two sequences should have been far away from each other, much further. So I have no idea where we're going, though. I guess we're going wherever the owl's willing to take us, or the griffin. Kind of need the cutscenes, though. Really? Did we need that? Man, it's just excessive. This isn't a moral story for kids type thing where, like, yes, death is a part of life. We have seen near-death incidences and many-death incidences over and over again in a very short amount of time in this game. Here we're having a flashback with the older son fishing with the father. So far, this flashback is fine, unlike the flashback of the mother drowning. But yeah, we need these cutscenes just to let those fingers, my pointer fingers, holding on to the triggers for long amounts of time. It's like flexing a muscle. Well, it is flexing a muscle in your fingers. So pay respects. Might as well. That may have been an achievement too. Get the feather. I guess he can hold on to the feather if he wants to. How long can we hold on to the feather, I wonder? It'll be right until I need to do something else. And again, we have this section that really is just a very short walkway. He's not holding the feather anymore. That too may have been an achievement. So somebody designed that area just for that 2 minutes. It seems a little wasteful. What is this? Over here we see a like giant. See the giant and a sword and vultures. Giants in armor. This place is bloody. Not safe for kids. Not safe for the giant. It's like a bloody battleground where the giants lost.
Yeah.
Well, he now knows where we're going. Hmm. And is this a Swedish thing? I don't think it is. I don't. Maybe it is. It's a tradition of Swedish mythology or fantasy tales. How many toes does that guy have? 5? Oh, actual 5. Usually animators go cheap uh, and only animate 3 or 4. Uh, yeah, the vultures are. I would be so away from this area. Of course, a sword that big is not useful to these kids at all. Here's a guy with an arrow, and notice the windings around the arrow clearly depict that both the kids should grab it and push it. Gross. And arrows wouldn't have windings around it like that. That would catch the string on the bow and create drag and be just kind of pointless. Hmm. Here's another sword. All the metal. Just think of all the metal you'd have to use. He smelled the giant's feet. Uh, they're just going through bloody water
Hey, Nae.
as, and again we're in the water section again. Swimming. Do I really need? Yeah, I do. The older brother really needs to drag him because he cannot swim. So maybe he actually can't swim. I guess it could be ironic that possibly the the mother drowned because she was trying to teach the son to swim and he failed to learn. Let's see. Okay, I see what we're gonna do here. gonna have to give him a boost up to this point, and then run this way, climb up this way.
Hey, Naya!
Come on, where do I grab? There I grab. Over here. There we go. I know some of the countries have a tradition of scary tales, like Little Red Robin Hood and such, all have scarier Brothers Grimm versions than what are told today. Maybe that's what this is trying to tap into. What am I gonna do with this mace? I'm gonna fling it.
Da!
Oh, and that's gonna shift the body.
Attack!
Hmm. Into a pit. Do we go this way? Nope. Slide down for another indicator that we progressed forward.
Yeah!
Walk this way. Suppose I could swing the camera, but the game wants really tight control on it. It's kind of silly that they even bothered to say you could move the cameras left or right. Normally you would be moving your camera with one of the control sticks. Instead you're using it with the right bump and the left bump. Some kind of blood sacrifice altar. Kind of place you don't want to be. And yet we're probably gonna end up there. He's conveniently placed arrows to the arm. It's like the people that were shooting at them specifically were trying to shoot them in their arms. Ew. Gross. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. We just chopped off the leg, which I doubt that would work. Maybe if they had no bones, or something wrong with their bones. Who would kill them and not like loot all of that stuff on them? All that metal, all that fabric. Let's take another seat. See this blood sacrifice altar. Just sitting here. Maybe there was an achievement for scaring away all the vultures too. Probably, maybe, but probably not. The danger is there was only on Xbox 360 a game like this, an arcade game, was only allowed, I think, at most 20 achievements, and so I bet they thought of several things that they would have given achievements for and then picked the more. Of course, all this extra interaction that has nothing to do with the actual game is money and time spent. I'm just gonna shoot that guy in the head, aren't I? Wow. Gross.
Naya Lapa! Valila!
Oh, Nai! Yeah!
And now they have a conversation that we have no idea what they're saying. There's a horn over there on the right. Let's go blow the horn. Hey, he can't blow it. Again, probably nothing there other than it. The only reason it was there is because of an achievement. Man, achievements are awful. I am so ashamed that I'm so obsessed with them, and I'm still obsessed with them today, even on Steam, where they mean absolutely nothing at all. But they really do hurt the artistic integrity of the video games. They're silly. I don't mind games having silly things you just do as a joke, but when you're encouraging it, when you're requiring it, as Xbox did require it for a long time and still does, I believe. I don't think you can make an Xbox One game with no achievements, even now. Uh, when you require it, when you force people to spend their time on it when they'd rather or better ought spend their time on other things, it, that's no good. Come on, camera, give me an angle here. We're going right behind this blood waterfall. And now we're covered in blood. Great. Because that's what we want to be, is covered in blood. Gross. So what would be funny is if you got behind a rock and it silhouetted both characters as red. Let's see. I don't know if I can do that. Here's another pot. They're just reusing the same interactions. We're leaving little bloody footprints everywhere. They're hunting some kind of giant elephant spider bug or something. We get washed off. Good. So it didn't seem like there was any reason for us to be covered in blood, but I bet it was so we can learn something later. Oh no, it's a woman that's gonna be sacrificed by crazy, I don't know.
كيف هادي ها؟
We've already saved so many other people, why not? So let's run this way. So we see that statue behind him. It's like a two-headed, a four-armed god. Between the two of us, we have two heads and four arms. So if one stood on my shoulders, he would look like him. Maybe we could trick it. See, we even have the picture here, again depicting it. So, run here and get painted red, and then stand here, and you get on top, like this. This is like so childish. This is so like childish thinking here. But I think it's gonna work. They're worshipping me good. So untie her. All I'm really doing right now, by the way, is controlling the, holding down the controller. So you kind of wish I had to push a button to untie it. This is almost like an interactive story instead of a video game. It feels like some of the, was it Space Ace games where you just were shown video and had to push A at a specific point? Uh, or there was some Tex Murphy games that were somewhat similar that was full motion video and you had to hit a button or click in a certain space in a very rare occasion. There's more interaction here when we're climbing, so that there's gameplay here. It's just I'm so missing being able to hit different buttons to do different things.
Mahamida.
Araba.
Ah,
I'm used to it.
iya dahi.
I want to hit the A button most of the time, but I do want to, on rare occasions, hit the X, Y, and B. And even when the GameCube came out and it had a giant A button and a tiny B button, it also had an X and a Y. Alright, so let's talk to this girl. It's always fun to talk to girls.
Dia naik.
And then let's,
Mahamida.
Mabihi.
and he's just like asking what was going on there, and she goes, I don't know.
Ana tu.
See, this, you could really characterize these secondary characters a lot more if you would just give them a voice and have their dialogue really work. Actually mean something. Alright. Do we just push forward? Controlling the boat like we controlled the airplane? The right trigger or left trigger's not doing anything. The girl's making the boys do all the work. There were only 2 paddles. Are we getting off or are we going further down the water? Seems like every time we get near water there's a danger. Here the water runs into the blood. We got bloody. Let's see if we can get her bloody. Let's see, forward and backward. Trying to turn. There we go. No, it doesn't seem like it wants me. It wants to allow it. No, I'm just hitting the wall. Good. I think turnabout would have been a little fair play there. So, is this where we end up? In this rock, or are we going further down the river? We're entering like an ice section. Doesn't, it makes it feel like we've gone so far, and it really does feel like we've gone really far, but it also feels like it's only been a few days. There's some kind of giant fish underground, under the water, or I'm seeing a reflection of a giant bird. Ooh, it is a whale slash strange looking fish. So, that's a good point, I guess, to end it here. As always, we ask to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.